Are you surprised here? You shouldn't be. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about BLM quote-unquote leader Shalomaya Bowers being accused of stealing 10 million US dollars from the organization in some kind of way, form, or fashion. Now, this is of no surprise to me, none whatsoever. You know, it's weird because I'm a conservative and happen to be a black person. I get accused of being a grifter and being fake and just trying to hustle for some money, all this and that and the third. But it's like, nah, this is just me. This is how I am. Anybody knows me know this is just me. I'm not pretending to be somebody. If I was this great of an actor, I would just skip the internets and go straight to Hollywood and go about it that way, right? I'm not that good of an actor. This is just who I am. If I wanted to be a grifter and I wanted to be an actor in that way, rather than going to Hollywood and I wanted to be unscrupulous with it, I would just go on the left and be a quote unquote grifter there. I would pretend to be leftist and abandon all principles and get that big bag of money. You see, I do well for myself right now, but I'm nowhere near in the league of being able to steal $10 million. I don't have access to that kind of money, but this guy does. And there are quite a few guys and girls who do. The people who run Black Lives Matter, or the people who ran it, the Global Network Foundation or whatever, the founders of it, the co-founders, you're talking about they got a whole real estate portfolio. I have one house. I got one house. They have a whole real estate portfolio, and I believe they paid cash. You're talking about a portfolio worth like $6 million, $7 million, $10 million. Millions upon millions of dollars. They're just MC hammering, throwing it in the sky, letting burn. But the people on the right, the conservative, the quote unquote black conservatives, we're grifters. Didn't make any sense. But let's go ahead and get into this article right here. And of course, this article will be in the description box, straight from New York Post. It's a very good, reputable source, unlike what Twitter thought back during the election. But that's a different story. And I digress. You see the headline. Activists accuse BLM leader Shalomaya Bowers of stealing $10 million. Now, there was a video I saw. I won't play it here. Maybe I'll put it in the description box, where there were over 20 BLM chapters suing because of some money dealings, because of the real estate portfolio and some more stuff going on. So it's not just people like myself who are accusing this man and BLM of misappropriating funds. You got the federales on their back. You got fellow activists on their back. You got everybody on their back. So at a certain point, if you're being accused from all these different angles, who's right and who's wrong? Whose word would you take for it if it was given to you? This man right here on the screen, or the federales, regular normies, activists, everybody? Let's continue. The subhead to this picture says Shalomaya Bowers allegedly siphoned more than $10 million in fees from donors to pay his consulting firm. Isn't that the oldest trick in the book, the consulting firm? That's the whole Ilhan Omar. A lot of these guys and girls that run for mayor, they run for governor, they run for city council. And what they do, here's a trick before we even get into the article. They will run for a particular office. A bunch of money is raised to their campaign. Now, you cannot just take that money from your campaign and put it in your own personal pocket and go spend on whatever. That's going to be a big violation. You might go to the penitentiary and make big rocks into little rocks. What they do instead is have the campaign pay their consulting firm to do certain things, but all they do is pocket the money. Ilhan Omar got married to Tim Minette, who was one of her, I guess you would say, vendors or whatever. He was a guy that's a consultant, and 70% of her campaign money now goes to Tim Minette. And since they're married, where's the money going? Let's put two and two together and still get four. But let's continue. The new leader of the National Black Lives Matter nonprofit, quote unquote, siphoned more than $10 million in fees from donors to pay his consulting firm, according to a lawsuit. But the BLM leader, Shalomaya Bowers, told the Post the case against him nothing more than a power grab by disgruntled activists trying to wrest control of the movement. Okay, so we got activist on activist violence. Very interesting. Bowers, who became head of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in April. Let's pause right there. Remember, I just talked about Patrisse Cullors, one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter. She was the head of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. But after the whole real estate portfolio scandal popped, she resigned from that and then put him right there. But right when that whole thing was going on, he was one of the ones defending her, talking about, oh, well, that mansion for $6 million US, that's going to be a content house. We're not going to just live there. That's going to be for people to go and produce content. It'll be something that we give back to the community. So he's been part of this circle of corruption for quite a while. He just got upgraded and he was apparently carrying the torch of corruption. Let's keep on going here. So he's accused of paying the cash to his own Bowers consulting firm and diverting resources from a new group called Black Lives Matter Grassroots Incorporated. All these twisted webs of LLCs and everything else, and it's a mess. BLM Grassroots was launched 3 months ago, records show. It claims to represent BLM chapters across the country. The new group was founded in California and made by Walter Mosley, the lawyer who also drafted the lawsuit papers against Bowers. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. According to court papers, Mosley formerly represented Black China in a lawsuit against Kim Kardashian in 2018. Oh, you got a Hollywood lawyer. All right. But you might have done something wrong, and that Hollywood lawyer bit back on you. He sure did. Mr. Bowers decided he could not let go of his personal piggy bank. That's a quote right there. BLM Grassroots charged in a lawsuit filed Thursday in the Los Angeles Superior Court. Instead, he continued to betray the public trust by self-dealing and breaching his fiduciary duties. Instead of using the donations for intended purposes, Mr. Bauer diverted these donations to his own coffers and intentionally took calculated steps to prevent those same resources from being used by BLM for on-the-ground movement work. I mean, but are you surprised though? Like, really? I mean, come on. A lot of normies that don't know anything about politics and how all this stuff works, they think when they're giving to Black Lives Matter, they think they're giving to a righteous cause. But we all know that's BS. We all know that. We know that they are just trying to get money, trying to put it into their own pocket. It's really just a money grab. It's a hustle. It's an opportunity. It's not really a real thing. Okay, so anytime anybody talks about Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, all I think about is all the money that's being made from that particular slogan and all the lack of quote unquote work that's being done, quote unquote, on the ground, as they say right here in the lawsuit. BLM Global Network Foundation paid the Bowers consulting firm $2,167,894 in 2021, according to federal tax filings. Bowers dismissed a lawsuit against him Saturday, telling the Post it's a power move by someone hell-bent on achieving power and control. He said a group of activists headed by California State University Pan-African Studies professor Melina Abdullah, I've heard her name before, very familiar, is trying to wrest power away from the foundation's current board of directors. Abdullah is described in court papers as having been, quote, engaged in intuitive protests simultaneous to the online activism of the three co-founders, unquote, of BLM. It is unclear what, quote unquote, intuitive protest means. Abdullah cannot be reached for comment. So let's see what's going on here. Did I wrap it on up, put the ball on top? Quote, it's the most insane thing I've read in a court pleading, and it's signed on a penalty of perjury when they know it's a lie, Bowers said, adding that the foundation has recently undergone audits that do not show $10 million going to him or his firm. Quote, we are in the process of correcting things, fixing things, and dealing with disgruntled people who want to take over the group. Very, very interesting. I'm not surprised. This is typical of the left. They take from these so-called grassroots movements to empower themselves. That's what it's about. It's not about black people and anti-racism and fighting the white man, fighting white supremacy. It's not about none of that. It's about how many Bentleys can I get? How many houses can I get? How much ice? How many cars? How much money can I extract from this particular thing until it's no more? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with this BLM leader being accused of stealing $10 million and his predecessor having the whole real estate portfolio worth millions of dollars? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Every single day, stories like this break and I get vindicated. Now, I don't want it to be na boo boo, I told you so. I don't really want it to be that, but it is that. I mean, let's just be all the way real. But aside from the I told you so, I just want people to see this, that really believe in Black Lives Matter, that really believe in the movement, to understand who you're supporting and why you support them. Why would you support someone who does things like this? And it's not just one person. It appears to be a thing that exists throughout all of these kinds of organizations. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.